What are you doing behind that desk? Where's Francine? Pleased to meet you, I'm Hark. I am Francine. I had some work done. I'm the new hire, not that anybody wants prizes. Pleased to meet you, I'm Hark. Hello, I'm Hark Angel, your new hire. I'm looking forward to working with you. He relaxes somewhat on hearing that. Somewhat.
Good to hear.
It's about time. I was wondering how long she'd have to work at that desk. I like his voice, too. It's really sexy. She's got gusto for an octogenarian and loves working the floor. But sitting here all day handing out toys and dealing with problems wears her down. So, she explained the job to you? Gave you the papers to sign? She said Gavin would handle that stuff. I'm talking to him. With a sigh, he rubs his forehead, feeling a headache coming on.
That would be me. I'm Gavin Cooper.
Oh, wow. I like the sweat drop. That's a cool touch.
I'm the business manager here at the Funplex. I make sure we manage to keep having a business, rather than a pile of rapidly collapsing fiscal mistakes.
Right, so as you've no doubt guessed, you'll be exchanging tickets for prizes, but that's the least part of your job. There's more to it than that? You're the floor attendant, you attend the floor. What? The carpets?
Seriously?
The floor. The arcade, the games, the patrons. You're the one running around putting out fires and sorting out problems. Technically, you're a second floor attendant. Ashley will be on later, but we need two. One to roam, one to operate the desk. I do it myself, but I'm typically busy in the back office, making sure the whole thing doesn't fall to bankruptcy. That's why Francine loved filling in. She's a people person. She loves helping out in a pinch. I'm a people person too. I am not a people person, as you've likely gathered. I kinda gathered that. That's not to say you're alone out here. I'm in your corner, at least, if things go south. You tap me for advice on what to do? You got a phone? Of course. Gavin quickly passes me his business card. He apparently had a stack of them at the ready in his pocket. Go figure, his phone number is listed at the bottom. You ever worked a high-pressure customer service job before? Shoe sales? Smelly socks? You have no idea. Right, well, you know how to keep your head when a customer doesn't. I hope. But anything goes sideways, you text me. I'm not around, you text Ashley or Naomi. In that order. Who and who? You'll meet them soon enough.
I think not.
Above all, do not bug Francine. She's practically retired. Let her enjoy that retirement in peace. Understood? Relax, I got this. Stress feeds me, makes me strong. This isn't my first pony ride, you can rely on me. But 911 for huge emergencies, right? This isn't a pony ride, you can rely on me. It's not my first explosive ordnance test. I've worked retail and food service, and I've worked as a lifeguard at a pool. Okay. That looks about right. This distribution looks about right. I see myself as being one of these three things most of the time. Managing stress in difficult situations, even life or death ones, is something I've got experience in. Unlike swimming. You can rely on me. Gavin nods approvingly. Apparently he likes that. I figured he liked the logical responses.
Indeed.
Good. I like to hear that. If you can handle yourself and exercise good judgment, you'll last a hell of a lot longer than the last guy who sat here. I'm wondering if all of the characters that tend to favor those specific type responses are color coordinated, because he's blue, just like the logic icon is. So I'm curious about how that works.
If you stay clear and honest with me, do your work, do it well, we'll get along swimmingly. I have enough problems keeping this magical arc of hopes and wishes afloat. Please, don't add to my problems.
Magical arc of what now? Gavin sighs again, a stress release gesture, but his expression softens somewhat afterwards.
I take it Francine told you her theory, that this is more than just a job, more than just an arcade.
That's my understanding.
I'm not into dressing up words. I like to speak plain. If I'm curt, then that's because optimization is a factor of my job.
That makes sense to me. I know those. I'm pretty type A myself. I'm a fairly relatively type A guy myself.
Everybody working here wants to work here. This is where they belong, for one reason or another. Me, I love chaos. I love wrangling chaos specifically.
I don't like chaos, and I don't like wrangling chaos.
The arcade industry is high risk, high reward. I manage that risk so that they can also find happiness in their lives. Everybody in this business has a dream they're chasing. It's a fragile thing, prone to getting crushed by hard reality. My job is to see to it that never happens. That includes Francine, who deserves better in her twilight years than desperately propping up a semi-failing business.
Have any of you watched This Is Us? If you have watched This Is Us, I'm getting a big Randall vibe from this guy.
So, you find some value in this place beyond your salary, and you'll burn out. Trust me. Last guy to sit there burned out hard.
I know, that's why I'm looking for love.
Now, can I trust you to mesh with our merry misfits?
I'm a people person. I'm still trying to figure out my why. Why so aggressive? I just got started here. No problem at all, I'm a model employee. You won't have any issues with me, I'm a solid worker. Gavin nods, satisfied.
Thank you.
I suppose that's a good starting point. We can build from there. Anyway, I need you to prepare your paperwork. Technically, you shouldn't be working until we've crossed the I's and dotted the T's, but... So does it show my... Alright. So I've got... Cool, I've got some good... It's yellow. Oh, I guess because that's my highest. The person that's my highest is yellow. Which is Gavin, because he's the only one. But since I'm already sitting here, you'd rather I stick around? That would be accurate, if you're willing to fudge things a bit and work today anyway. It'd help us out a lot. Now, if you don't mind, Naomi likely could use a hand in the workshop. A good opportunity to introduce yourself as well. Got it. Wait, someone else is here? I haven't seen anyone else. Yeah, that sounds like Naomi. Her workshop's through that door there, the one next to the UFO catcher. The crane game, to use layman's terms. Satisfied for now, Gavin heads in the back, presumably to go to the office to crunch some numbers. He's probably doing some crunches too with those amazing abs he probably has as well. If Francine's really taking a nap back there, hopefully he's going to crunch quietly. My first coworker ended up slightly less cool of a guy than I thought he'd be. I don't know, I think he's cool. I understand people like him. I am very much like him. But he's not a jerk, definitely. I get where he's coming from. Plus, I've known really blunt people before. It's easy to mistake them for jerks, especially at first glance. I figure I can give this guy an honest chance. Anyway, I should go meet my next coworker, this Naomi that he mentioned. Although I could swear Francine and I were the only ones here until now. A double door, also marked employees with apostrophe, also with an apostrophe, leads from the arcade floor to what feels like an industrial area of some sort. I turn the handle and step inside. Nice sound effects. Oh. In the little room tucked away between the back offices and the Funplex front, I find what is very likely this Naomi, spoken only of in myth and legend. A girl about my age, but certainly not my height, is tinkering away on what looks like an old tube-style monitor. Huh, I didn't realize they had so many circuits. She doesn't notice me when I come in, too busy soldering the capacitor into place. The lingering smell of melting metal fills the air of the poorly ventilated workshop. Excuse me? For lack of a better way to interrupt her, I was worried no matter what I did she might, I don't know, burn her fingers or jump so high she hit the ceiling or something. Fortunately, the shock's not quite that intense. Oh, she's cute.
Oh.
She sort of reminds me of Irma from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 1980s original animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thank you very much. Hello. She's very cute.
You know this room is for employees only.
She said with no apostrophe.
Are you lost? Do you need something?
Hi, I'm Archangel. I'm the new floor attendant starting today.
Oh! Hi. I didn't realize Francine already found someone. I guess I forgot to check my text.
Do I not have a name tag?
Oh, whoops.
They should have issued me a name tag, because then people would know that I'm an employee. She spares a glance at her phone on the nearby workbench where a huge stack of green notification messages lie away. One thought comes to mind on actually seeing her. No wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. I've always assumed retro arcade nerds were fat, middle-aged guys. That's kind of mean. Oh my god, she is so cute. I just want to hug her, but that would be super inappropriate. I mean, she is cute, but I'm gonna say no wonder I didn't notice her until now. She was totally focused on the task at hand. The room's right at the heart of the building, but totally isolated. With the heavy top doors closed behind me, I can barely hear the arcade. Considering how completely and utterly dedicated she was to that monitor, not even noticing me, I guess that's also why. But what I first noticed is her smile. Even when squinting to see the tiny components in that circuit board, even when laser focused, she was smiling happily.
Anyway, I'm Naomi Fairchild, the Funplex's techie. Hi! Pleased to meet you. I was expecting Gavin, though. He usually checks up on me about now.
He's busy doing strange things with the numbers.
Ugh, yeah, that sounds like Gavin.
I'm an engineer. I'm used to strange things with numbers.
I take it he sent you along to help? Great. Give me a hand with this monitor. It's really heavy, and I'm still paranoid about dropping it after what happened last time.
What happened last time? Really? What happened last time?
Oh, well, I dropped it.
Okay. Oh, right. She helps me lift a large cathode ray tube, slotting the heavy metal framework into place within the exposed guts of the nearby arcade cabinet. Once done, she starts hooking wires back up to other wires. There's a surprising number of green circuit boards in that largely hollow wooden shell. This is the first time I've seen inside one of these things. It's weird. Lots of empty space, a couple larger slabs of circuits, and that beefy monitor. Why is it so empty in here? Maybe we could fill it with not with nacho dip? It's my first time seeing the guts of a game. Why is it so empty in there? Why is it so empty in there? Seems inefficient. Couldn't you pack more games in the arcade if it was more compact? Not really. It's more about the footprint on the floor than the vertical height. Naomi keeps working, using a pocket multimeter to check various connections as she speaks.
Let me explain.
I mean, compare American and Japanese cabinets. Ours are designed for standing players, so they have to be upright, even if that means an empty base. Japanese candy cabs are shorter, so you play sitting down, but I prefer American style. Ours have more room for art. That's a good point. I actually did not know the difference between the Japanese and American style arcade boxes. I didn't realize they were different. She closes up the rear access panel, closing it with one of the many keys on the key ring at her side, then steps back to admire her handiwork. There's genuine joy in that smile, not just at a job well done, but at looking at the whole thing, like it's a fine sculpture.
So beautiful.
Oh, I love the classic Midway style, trademarked. Look at those sharp angles, the side art decals, the bold font on the marquee, the bezel artwork. The what on the what and the what artwork? With a sigh, Noemi points out key features to me. The strip across the top with the game title, that's the marquee. The artwork that wraps around the monitor, that's the bezel. I mean, you see it too, right? How beautiful and cohesive it all is, working in harmony to give this game its own unique feel, its own experience. Oh, I 100% get you, girl. I 100%. As for me, well, a bunch of weird-looking boxes in a row looks ugly. I agree it's beautiful in its own way. So you're a resident game historian then. I agree it's beautiful in its own way. The way she stares leveling at this, well, honestly, this box of wood and circuits and vacuum tubes and stuff, I think I understand. It was made to be the one whole thing. The art, the style, and of course the game itself. All of it part of the same experience. Everything about this game is the game. And if you run it in an emulator or in a game console instead, it's made lesser. Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's beautiful in its own way. Oh, good. Naomi lights up with joy like a pinball machine, all twinkly and shiny.
Woohoo!
Finally, so few people really understand the beauty of a classic arcade game. Having someone I can talk to about this stuff is going to be great. Especially with that jerk Gavin running the numbers. Apparently they don't get along. Gavin? What's wrong with Gavin? Okay.
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I can get along with him, generally, but his whole attitude just... Ugh.
Ugh.
All he really cares about is money. He keeps the arcade running, but yeah, I just know if he had his way, he'd gut the whole place. If anybody's gonna ruin the Funplex, it's him. Mark my words, it's inevitable. Interesting gossip. That doesn't sound right. He seemed easy enough to get along with, and what's more, Gavin gave me the whole speech about protecting their dreams. This looks like a pretty sore point here. A long-standing argument with the new guy really shouldn't get involved. A long-standing argument that the new guy really shouldn't get involved with. And yet, I'm involved, aren't I? I have to work with both Naomi and Gavin. So I'm not sure I should prod at it, but I kind of want to know too. Don't rock the boat. Clear the air and find out more. Let her keep talking. I'm gonna clear the air and find out more. I get this is touchy, but if I'm gonna work here, I think we should all be honest with each other. No gossiping. So I gotta know, why do you think Gavin wants to destroy the arcade? He buys into Francine's idea that this is a place for dreams. He says he does, but he's willing to sacrifice way too much just to keep the whole thing afloat. Road to hell, best intentions, etc., etc. If he had his way, this place would be like Decoy's palace. Nothing but ticket games and prize catchers. He thinks actual video games are too expensive, a waste of floor space. I'd bet he'd remove them all if he had his way. Interesting. How much do I believe that Naomi believes this. But is it true? But I believe that Naomi believes it's true. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him to do the right thing. But that's my problem, not yours. Sorry to drop gossip on your head like this. Thanks for hearing me out anyway. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. I think we're very good. Alright, we're about on par. You seem a strong, strapping kind of guy. Well, a strong guy at least. Well, you're a guy. That's enough. I'm semi-insulted then? Okay, let's get to it. Right, a little to the left now. My left, you're right. Careful. Now forward, right, correct. I mean, not turn to the right. Keep it coming, and... There. Carefully tip it into place. Victory! I gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box sliding into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheel dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy, especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again.
Yeah.
Okay, glad to be done with that one. I swear, I've been working with that monitor for ages. These tubes are finicky as heck, but I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback. But thanks for helping me out, Hark. I think you're gonna do just great here. Happy to hurt. Oh, right, stomach growling. Food required. Except, I wasn't expecting to actually be working today. I forgot to pack a lunch.
When you have pizza on a bagel...
No, I'm just talking here, but if you had pizza on a bagel... Shh. Hey, so any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but... Oh, no, not really, unfortunately. I mean, there's a cheap Wub Sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know. Wait right there. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole. Lunchtime! Here you go. She pressed a box of lunch into my hands. It's a bento box. Oh, I love bento boxes. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned her from her mom back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good healthy things. That I can get behind. Wait, you're giving me your lunch? Sure, why not? And yet, when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That escalated quickly. What do you have for lunch then? Oh, I can just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole story next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway. But you said eating healthy was important.
See ya.
See you after lunch. I think she likes us. I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead. I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for this arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. And giving me her lunch? Me, a total stranger? That's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, a bento box. I've only seen these in anime. It's cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too. Armed with a box of health food, I retire to the employee lounge to get my munch on. I'm wondering who I'm gonna meet next. The room where I had my bizarre Java interview will suffice for food times. It's not much, a few folding chairs and a kitchenette, but it'll do. Utterly famished by this point, I have a seat and unpack my loaned lunch. What the heck? It's a flamingo. Incoherent screaming. Coherent screaming. Await death. I'm gonna say incoherent screaming. With my mind and body screaming wildly, my paralyzed form is unable to move from the vision of terror before me. The half-person, half-animal waves their appendages in front of me, likely closing in for the kill. Hello? Anyone in there? Walking nightmare. See, nothing to be afraid of. Ah, right, I see. Looks like you've stabilized. I was worried I scared the life right out of you.
Hey, so I'm sorry if I traumatized you. Really? Can we start over, maybe?
This must be Naomi. I nod my head slowly. Oh no, Naomi was the other one. Why am I getting all these people messed up? That was Naomi. That was the other girl is Naomi. All these names. I nod my head, although that could just be a muscle spasms from being in shock.
I'm Ashley.
Ashley. Like Ashley Tisdale. And I'm Hart.
I'm also Pinky, the Funplex Flamingo. It's my secret, yet not so secret identity.
What the Funplex what now? This is almost too much to take in. Gavin was a bit of a lot. Naomi was off the scale, cheerful. I've met some really intense people so far.
Did you sneak into the employee section just to get my autograph?
Me? No.
Oh, I thought you would recognize Pinky from all the signs around the arcade. Pinky is the mascot of the Funplex, after all.
Does she have a sidekick named the Brain? Oh no, that's not what I meant at all. I mean, I work here.
You work here? Since when?
Since this morning? Today? This morning, to be specific.
Oh, awesome! Welcome to the Funplex.
Thanks. I mean, it would have been way cooler if you were just so enamored with the chibi flamingo creature plastered on every wall that you had to know more.
Let's see.
You could have stealthily maneuvered your way through all the games, sliding right up to the employees only door with an apostrophe. But how did you get the door code?
Ooh.
Of course! You would have collected the password on a piece of paper that fell from Gavin's pocket. You searched your heart and decided that that 4-digit number had to be the intel you needed.
Let's see.
Next, you needed to lie in wait for the opportune moment to punch in that secret key code, justifying me. It just keeps going and going. She's definitely passionate about this fictional scenario. Ashley's got quite the imagination, alright. Is that how I come across to people, as a creepy trespasser? Ashley's got quite the imagination, alright. Wow, I'm suitably impressed, albeit slightly terrified. She can just take an idea and run with it. Where she's running with it, I'm not sure she even knows. And how would you have you snuck out, I wonder? I could have helped, but for a price. Ashley finally realizes she's been babbling to herself for a good couple of minutes. Oops. Sometimes I get swept up in a good story. I mean, I gotta find some way to make this job more interesting. Is it really that dull here? No, not really. I just crave a different kind of excitement than beeps and boops, screaming children, and broken machines. You aren't really painting the best picture here. Ah, geez, I don't mean to be a downer. I just want to move up in the world. I've got things to accomplish, dreams to fulfill, cosplay to make. Cosplay? Hark, you know what cosplay is. As we switch topics, it's like she's a completely different person. Ashley's eyes light up and she smiles. Yeah, you know, like dressing up as your favorite video game or TV character. I love it. I love it too. It's so empowering to be able to make your own costume and wear it proudly. It's even better when people recognize what character you are. Empowering? Really? Granted, she certainly had the power to stop my heart for a few beats.
Yes!
Definitely. You want to try? Got a favorite game character? I can help you make your first cosplay if you want. I would be all over that. In fact, I made this one. I think Ashley is pointing to her flamingo costume, but it's hard to tell with her hands as feathers. So, Pinky is your creation. Intentionally? Yep, it looks pretty good for my first mascot cosplay, doesn't it? I'd probably stitch my hands together if I tried that. If you're going for terrifying, then yes. I don't know heads or tails, but I can appreciate it. I'd probably stitch my hands together if I tried that. I'm all thumbs when it comes to stuff like that. Literally, if I get enough thread running between them. I'm pretty impressed, though. Naomi was going on about craftsmanship of games. Clearly, you're digging on craftsmanship costumes. Aw, thanks. It's nice when hard work is appreciated. I wear it around the Funplex to liven up the crowds, get people pumped to play some games, and the kids seem to adore it. That makes sense. Although the arcade has been completely dead so far. No crowds to pump or kids to be adored by. Hey, secret between you and me? Ashley motions for me to come closer. She leans in, glances around the room once, and then talks in a hushed tone. I did some repairs on Pinky overnight. I had to restitch the left arm, and I was giving her an old test drive to make sure it doesn't fall off. Huh, limbs falling off seems bad. Oh, it was. Yesterday I was dancing with a little girl, must have been like 5-6 years max. Anyway, we were next to Showtime stage when she tugged on my arm and whoosh! Off came the arm. The girl instantly started bawling. Well, at least you are consistently scaring people, and it's not just me.
Nope.
Hey now. I don't want that to happen again. I felt so bad. But enough about me. What about you? So you're Carl's replacement? Carl? Carl! Carl! I guess so. I'm the new floor attendant. I attend to the floor. The floor is the thing I'm attending to when I'm not going into cardiac arrest. At least you're funnier than Carl, that's for sure. I can't wait to go home and tell Juniper I do have a sense of humor. She'll be so proud. I assume you've already met Francine, but have you had a chance to meet Gavin and Naomi yet? Yeah, I met them already, although it seems like they aren't too keen on each other. Right? Ashley rolls her eyes and lets out a sigh. I wish they would hurry up and make out already. Oh, that's what's going on. Yeah? Yeah, wait? Wait, seriously? So, are they going out? Huh, nope. But they always bicker like an old married couple. It's a classic anime cliche. The ones who fight always end up together. Mark my words, Hark. Not me. I don't get together with the people that I fight with. Consider them marked.
Beep, beep.
Beep, 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 Hark. Although, Colin and I, we do have a lot of arguments. That's saying something. What's that sound? Trat, I set an alarm for when my lunch break was over. Time to go back to the grindstone. I didn't even get a chance to eat.
What?
That's no good. Hark needs his calories. You eat up. I'll go wash the floor. In fact, how about I take over the ticket desk for the next shift? You can do my job and wander the floor a bit. Fair enough, thanks. Yes! I'm free. Ashley winks before her face disappears into the dark recesses of that inhuman mask. And I'm wolfing down rice in the shape of a little heart. Wow, it occurs to me I didn't actually ponder my first impressions of Ashley yet. Let's see. She's pretty amazing. I like her enthusiasm about her art. Ashley's got a lot going on in that head of hers. I just don't understand it all. Ashley is a total cutie. I'm all aboard the Pinky train. Choo choo. I'm medium. Like, I really like Gavin and I really like Naomi. Ashley's nice, but I think that she's medium. She's in the middle for me. She's a little much. Ashley's got a lot going on in that head of hers. I just don't understand it all. She seems like a nice girl, but I can't get on board with all her wild stories. I can't imagine always living your life vicariously through a fantasy. Anyway, with lunch in my belly and break time complete, the second half of my workday began. When are we going to meeting more of the guys? When are we meeting more of the guys? Rolling into the afternoon, the crowd starts to fill out. School's done, and late-rising pros are heading out to their arcades of their choice. With Ashley covering the desk, my job is to wander the floor, looking for problems, or potential problems, or just making sure everything's A-okay. But for starters, it's a good moment to collect my thoughts. Got off on the right foot with some of my coworkers, and the wrong foot with others. A mixed bag, let's say, but not awful. I can't think of anyone that I had started the wrong foot with. Everyone that I spoke to, we seemed to hit it off decently well. I mean, look at this. Wrong foot, my butt. I need to make sure I get along with these people. They're going to be a part of my life one way or another. And if Francine's willing to pink slip her grandson, well, I'm expendable. I should be careful. Hang on, no time for daydreaming. I think I spot, let's see, 3 possible issues to look into. I should have time to get to all of them, but which do I tackle first? An irate customer near Mr. Moopy's magic maze, someone cursing up a storm in Fist of Discomfort, a loud crowd around Showtime stage. I'm gonna say someone cursing up a storm. That seems like the most important thing right now. Someone cursing up a storm at Fist of Discomfort. There's a lot of shouting coming from the center of the arcade where Fist of Discomfort is being played. I remember Iris telling me all about it earlier while I was bored to death at the ticket desk. Fist of Discomfort, or FOD, is one of the most popular games in the esports circuit. It's been a staple of the scene for over 6 years. One year, Team Wicked Prodigies took on the Unreal and came back to win in the dying seconds of the tiebreaker match to take home a record $5 million prize pot. That's a lot of moolah. And how? Okay, so how does it work? It's a hybrid of real-time strategy and button mash brawling. Fight your way down the top and bottom lanes, clearing waves of ninjas to finally topple the enemy dojo. But that's the action part. The strategy part involves using special abilities, purchase items, and ninja summons. FOD is sheer elegance in its simplicity, the way the different game systems interweave to form one masterpiece of esports perfection. I'd play that. So, summon good ninjas, punch bad ninjas, smash dojo. I'd say boiling down a rich game of action and strategy played the world over by top gamers in such a way is a bit degrading, but sure, okay.